Creative people not needed. The biggest lie in copywriting. You know, it's funny, guys. Everybody thinks to be a copywriter you've got to be creative, you've got to be an artist of some sort. And it's funny, when I tell people what I do for a living, that I make money online, they're like, oh wow, you must be a really creative person. In this video, I'm going to prove to you you don't need to be a creative person, and yet you could be super successful in writing copy online. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video too, and don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down there, turn it from red to gray. Don't forget to ring the bell, turn all bell notifications so you're notified each and every single time I go live. Now here's the cool thing: you don't need to be creative. It's not necessary. It's just that people think you're creative. There are ways of doing stuff very creative even if you're not that creative of a person. Okay, so I'll admit it, I can write copy, okay, and I can write stuff that converts, but it's not because I'm creative. And it kind of upsets me that people think, well, you just sit around until you get some inspiration that you know is going to work, and then you put it on your website or you put it in a video. And that's just not true. The truth is, we are more like scientists. Now sure, there's probably a very small portion of copywriters out there that just have these great ideas come to them. I'm not one of them, and I don't think the majority of copywriters are. A really good copywriter is more like a scientist. Yeah, because what they do is they actually figure stuff out based on tons of research, tons of time, and a lot of interactive testing. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how we can do all of that stuff, how you can do all of this stuff and get really great results, and you can be a great copywriter without being a super creative person. You see, a real aim of a copywriter is to elicit some type of emotion. If you can elicit that emotion, if you understand your audience and you understand the pain points of your audience, you can elicit that emotion, and that's going to trigger them to look at your copy, to read your copy, to convert more. A lot of brands do that. If you think about Nike kind of boiled it down to just do it, but there was more to it than that. The Nike type person was a go-getter. The Nike type person really made things happen. The Nike type person didn't make any excuses whatsoever. They just went out there and they just did it. Okay, so that's the type of emotion that Nike has now, and they've done very well with this. Everybody associates Nike with just do it. Okay, quit making excuses, just get stuff done. That's what you want to do with your ad copy, and it doesn't have to be long. Think of that slogan right there, just do it. That's a very short ad copy, but it says a whole lot. Now, writing good copy, I would have to say, for most good copywriters, is a template. And that's boring, right? I know it's boring, but it's very true. It's a template of what has worked in the past. Now, if you don't have experience with what works in the past, well, you do. Actually, you have all the other brands out there that are doing particular things. Look at your competitors that are successful. What are they saying? What are they doing? What are the words they're using on their website? You can use the same words. You don't have to copy them word for word, but you can get an idea of what works. And as a scientist, which I think I'm more of a scientist than I am a copywriter, I know what has worked in the past. I know certain buzzwords that work. There are certain books out there, and I'll put some links below, but like Words That Sell, that's a great book. Words That Sell will teach you how to use particular words, and it's a formula to get good copywriting to convert. I think my form of copywriting is more of a scientific copywriting. I do a lot of research. I look at a lot of competitors. I start comparing these things. And as you do more and more research, you're going to learn about your niche. You can't just sit down and be creative, because somebody who is super creative could come into my niche if they know nothing about it, and they're not going to be able to write anything that works because they don't know my audience. They don't know the pain points. They don't know the problems to solve. That comes with research, and if you do your research, you're going to get good results. Now, the first thing I want to tell you is nobody cares what you think. That's right, nobody cares what you think. If you say, well, hey, I've got this product and I've got this way of selling it, and I think it would do really well, nobody cares about that. What they care about is what they think. So you don't need to worry about what you think. What you think can oftentimes be wrong. A lot of my opinions do not go along with the average male that looks like me. My opinions are very different than those people. So it doesn't matter what I think. If I'm trying to sell to an audience, a particular avatar that you've selected, then I need to figure out what they think and what they want. So before you write any copy whatsoever, I want you to go through these 3 rules. Number one rule is know what their pain points are and know what their problems are. If you know those two things, that's going to be super helpful. The next thing you need to know is what are the available solutions to the problem, i.e. who is the competition for the product that you're selling or service that you're selling. So you want to know their problems and their issues and all their pain points, and you got to know their competition. Those things are crucially important. And the next thing you want to do is know how you're different. How are you different from everything else that's out there? If you aren't different, if you aren't specialized, if you can't articulate how you're better than the competition and how you can solve the problems that weren't solved in the past, then you're not going to have good copy. That's why you have to sit down and think about that. You could sit in a room and start coming up with ideas, but if you don't go through these steps right here, you're not being creative. You're winging it. Okay, we don't want to wing it. We want to do it in a simple process. Now I want to give you some good copy. I want to give you some good copy that you can use right now, and I'm going to put it up on the screen and you can read it and then you can just fill in the blanks. Okay, the first one is how to, and then you're going to put accomplish something. So that could be how to lose weight, that could be how to read faster, that could be how to catch bigger fish, whatever, and then put in, and then put a short amount of time. This is really simple. So you could say something along the lines of how to lose 10 pounds in only 5 days. Okay, so that's something really simple. Next one is how to receive benefit without undesired expenditure. Okay, so how to learn to speak Spanish without spending hours a day, how to lose 30 pounds without exercise, how to lose 30 pounds and still eat the food you want. So that's another great one. Number 3, combine number 1 and 2. Okay, this is simple. Copywriting 101. This is easy. How to accomplish or benefit in a short period of time without expenditure. So I could say how to lose 30 pounds in less than 5 days and still eat the food you want and not have to exercise. Do you see what I'm doing here? All I'm doing is answering those pain points, those problems that people have, and the reason they haven't been able to fix these pain points or achieve these goals is because they foresee more pain than what they have with whatever the pain point is. In other words, I'm way overweight, right? And I want to lose weight, but not as much as I don't want to exercise. So if I combine that, or not as much as I still want to eat the food I want to eat, if you combine these two, you're going to have a great headline. Look, these methods have been used for years in magazine ads and newspapers, on television, radio, you name it. Don't be a fool and try to reinvent the wheel. It's already out there. There's already things that are proven to work in advertising. There's already things that are proven to work online, offline, written, videos, whatever. They're all proven to work. The beginning of this video, I said you don't need to be creative to be a great copywriter. Now that's what a lot of you thought. You thought, well, I've got to be super creative and that's why I can't write good copy. And I dispelled that myth. I said, no, you don't. It's not necessary. And you don't. You just use the templates of things that are true and tested that somebody else already got results from. Now, with all that being said, all the template stuff and things that work, advertising and copywriting is not a set it and forget it type thing. There's never been an ad that ran for 50 years. Okay, there's never been an ad like that, and the reason is because things change, time changes, people's wants and desires changes, people's needs changes. A keyboard for a computer in let's say 2005 is a lot different than a keyboard on a computer right now. Sometimes we don't have keyboards. I know a lot of times I use talk to text, and I use this thing called Dragon Naturally Speaking in, gosh, I want to go back to 2001 or 2, and it was horrible. It didn't work well, so I quit using it. Now I have it built into my computer. It comes with an Apple computer. I can hit the FN button twice and I can dictate pretty much anything I want, so I don't even use the keyboard that much. That's how much things have changed. So you've got to understand that once you get something that works 100%, it's the best thing in the world, it's going to change. Times change. The next thing I'll tell you is that you've got to constantly test. If you're sending out emails, you want to test different headlines or subject lines for the emails. On your website, you want to use a heat map, see what people are doing on that heat map. Also, maybe surveys. You could send out surveys to people. Now, I'm not good at surveys because I don't like to fill them out. I always say to myself, well, if I'm filling out this survey, I'm wasting time when I could be doing something else for my company. But not everybody thinks that way. A lot of people love to fill out surveys. Don't do something that is based on what you think. Do something based on what the whole area of your niche is thinking. Okay, do what they want you to do. It doesn't matter what you think doesn't matter. What matters is what your niche thinks. So that's something that you've got to buy into, but you've also got to learn what do they think, and these are the best ways to do that. Okay, let's check out an ad that Guinness did. I think this is pretty amazing. I'm going to put it on the screen, and it is the Guinness Guide to Oysters, and then you see a beer down there, and I think it's kind of interesting because they've combined people who eat oysters with Guinness beer. Now, why is it good? Well, it's targeted. The advertisement would likely appear in maybe food magazines, so it would appeal to the interest of the readers. There's that audience research coming into play again. Okay, they know that they read these food magazines. It might have a smaller circulation than a TV ad, but it would appeal more directly to the sensibilities of those who read it. It has a specific actionable call to action. If you're eating oysters, drink Guinness because it makes them taste better. Simple. Okay, it's getting people to purchase the product instead of getting them to talk about it like the non-specific TV spots that you see all the time. Never take your eye off the ball. Okay, so even if your advertising is wildly popular, is it getting the results you want? Do you make more money? There was an ad many years ago. I think I was a kid at the time, and it was called Plop Plop Fizz Fizz, oh what a relief it is. And it was an ad for Alka-Seltzer.
You worked too hard, you ate too much, the cheesecake made you greedy. Let your aching head and stomach hear this message from old Speedy. Alka-Seltzer, plop, plop, fizz, fizz, oh, what a relief it is.
That ad was very popular. Everybody was saying it. Everybody was singing the jingle. But you know what? During that period, it was said, and I don't have the research on it, but I've heard it enough times to believe it, their sales actually went down. It didn't get across the point that that medication, if you want to call it that, would ease your stomach. It just didn't work, but it was wildly popular. So make sure when you look at your advertising, make sure when let's say your conversion rates, when people are converting and they're opting into your list, do they stay on your list? What is the long-term value? Do they buy anything from you? Because if you write some copy and a lot of people opt in but nobody buys and nobody stays, then it was not successful. So your follow-up has to be very strong on this stuff too. If you're opting in, what's your goal? Okay, is your goal to get them to buy right now? Is your goal to get them on your list so you can market to them later? If it gets them on the list but you don't market properly, then you've wasted your time. So make sure that you're getting the goal that you want decided upon up front, and make sure you measure it later on. I hope this helped you out. I hope some of these examples helped you out. You don't need to be creative. You just need to use a template, and you need to go about it in the right manner. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe. I also have a course down below. It's a $97 course. You can get it absolutely free. Just click and learn. Don't forget to ring the bell. Turn on all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I go live, and give me a thumbs up if you would. Hit that thumbs up down there. It really helps the YouTube algorithm, so I would really appreciate that. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey, thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click that little bell right there so you can be notified every time I do a new video. Also, click on one of those videos there. Keep watching on my channel.